Hey, so I just left my very last therapy visit, like physical therapy type of visit, after like, it's bonkers. It's straight up like mofo bonkers. I don't even know if that was a real sentence. How much therapy I've done the past couple of years of all kinds, always, you know, alternative, Western, physical, mental, whatever. You know, exercise, you know, all the things. And so, you know, I've been dreaming about the day that, you know, I always kind of thought in my head, like, gosh, the day I go to my last appointment, doctor's appointment, therapy appointment, or whatever, like, I wonder what I'm going to do. I wonder what I'll look like. I wonder, like, how I'll feel or what life will be like. And it was like this really exciting thing. But I'd always envisioned, like, I'd be like this different person, you know, like I'd like be more in shape, better than I was before, but like with more wisdom or just like more zest for life or more gratitude or appreciation for stuff. And it's here. Today's the day. And it's just like nothing like what I had always had envisioned. First of all, mostly of all, I still have very debilitating disabilities, which surprisingly I'm good with. I took, you know, that hit me in October of 2019. That was the month that I realized that I was always going to struggle forever. And you know, that's not a good affirmation, but you know, just I'm speaking my mind right now. But I spent most of early on 2020 and end of 2019 coping with that, and I got to a really good place with that. So that's okay. But I went into the office and I'm talking to the chiropractor, the doctor, or whatever, and he's asking me how all of my visits went. There was 40 total of just this. I've done other stuff, a bunch of other stuff. But I haven't gotten any return from it. And that's why I'm that's part of why I'm moving to Cabo. That's part of why I'm going to shift my focus and my energy into something else, is because revolving my life around healing my body and healing myself and all that stuff, it's not having a return on that investment, as I mentioned I think it was the last video I made. So it's like, I still want to, you know, express and engage and live. I'm just going to do it in something else where I have a return on that energy and investment. So I'm in there and I'm like, yeah, I didn't see anything from these treatments. I started doing them in August and I'm none the stronger from them. And he seemed surprised. I mean, but you know, when people do these treatments and therapies for you, they want to think like because I paid a lot of money for this one. But it was my last Hail Mary, like my last hurrah, if you will. Because my friend was doing this treatment for my exact same condition in California and it was working for him. So I thought it was worth a shot. But so I had peace of mind that I tried. There really is value on that. Like sometimes you feel like something was for nothing, but like, if anything, it's just so you know, like, just so you know, like, so you don't have regrets or like that wondering, you know. But, you know, it's like when people do these treatments and therapies and they try to help you and take care of you, they want so badly to believe, like, I have the answer, like, this helped. And it's also hard for them to accept when it doesn't. And I'm not saying the guy did this today, but it's happened to me a few times where people think that what they believe will help you, if it doesn't help you, that you did it wrong. Like, I've had a lot, you know, I was plant-based when my autoimmune started. I was plant-based, mostly vegan for 3 years when my autoimmune started. So I changed to a more paleo diet and I do keto a lot of the time. You know, I've even had a lot of people that believe so much in the plant-based diet. I get it. I did too. And I believe that's the best thing for some people. But, you know, often when I tell people that didn't help me, you know, in fact, you know, I got autoimmune when I was plant-based. So it wasn't my answer. You know, sometimes some people, not everyone, just like some people, they just think, oh, well, you didn't do it right. Okay. But, you know, it's like some of these therapies too, like like maybe the placement was wrong, or like maybe you didn't try hard enough. It's just like when you're going through this stuff, people put so much pressure on you, and they put their belief systems on you of what they think will work. And if it doesn't work, then somehow it's your fault. Like, you didn't do it right. And he wasn't really like that today, but he was just so surprised and kept, you know, asking more and more questions, trying to find a way that it did help. And through that conversation, it was like, you know, like it was my last therapy visit. And it was like I was saying over and over again in this conversation, it didn't work. It didn't work. And I think it tapped into a place of just like, okay, like nothing will work. Nothing else will work. So it was just an interesting conversation, and that's why I was making a video real quick, and I have to hop off the call because I have a discovery call with somebody that signed up for my my Greater Inner Circle group. So I do need to go, but I love making these videos right when I'm feeling the actual emotion. It's just not the same to explain it later. And you know, I don't think I have a lot of like actual PTSD. I've had my own traumas, but actually like PTSD, like I was talking about the other day in one of my videos, where like it actually changes your brain and changes the way you're able to, you know, handle things. Like you handle things different than before. I don't know that I have that deep level of PTSD, but there's one incident that I do, and it was so traumatic at the time. I didn't even make a video about it, which is so unlike me, right? But it was at this clinic. I was in this series of treatments, and it was when they gave me an injection, or they attempted an injection in my spine, intrathecal, and it didn't go well. And they ended up hitting a nerve, and it shot a spasm down my left leg, and it caused shooting pain. And it was this moment, this was like a month ago. It was this moment where I thought my left leg just went paralyzed again. Or, oh my gosh, I've damaged the nerves in my spine. And it was like that initial thought that shocked me, hey neighbor, that shocked me to my core. It shocked me so bad that I cried the whole way home. And my neighbor, and when I got home, my mom put my head in her lap and just pat my hair because I couldn't stop crying, and I was like hyperventilating because it hit a nerve. It struck a nerve, like that play on words. But it like scared me so bad that I had nerve damage and paralysis again, or new nerve damage, and you know, the paralysis is that. But that traumatized me. But that came up today in the conversation too. He was like, well, how did the injection go? And I had to start talking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, that was like traumatizing. So anyways, all that said, I have no lessons learned today, my friends. Nothing to share with you except for raw emotion. And I imagine some of you can relate to what I'm saying. So I just want you to know you're not alone, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and jump on my call. And yeah, it's just, you know, sometimes what we envision, these fantasies we have, this dream life, this person we think we're going to become, you know, once we get to that day, it doesn't always look like the way we dreamed, but it's always the way it's supposed to be. It is. I don't always like it, but it is. Like, there's so many cool things. Like, if I erased this from my life, if I erased today or where I'm at today or this emotion or anything that doesn't feel like a fiesta, you know, in my life, if I erased them, that would erase, you know, the things in my life I love the most. Like, the relationship with my family, for starters. Like, if this hadn't happened, I wouldn't have lived with my parents the past 3 years. Like, getting to hang out with them, like, as adults, as best friends, like, getting to, like, spend so much time with my sister and her family. Like, I that would be erased. Like, you know, having this, like, emotional connection I have to, like, my Unicorn page and the community here would be erased. Like, being able to move to Cabo and, like, meet people. My story comes up often because my hands, the disability in my hands is very present. It's noticeable. So it comes up a lot. So I build instant rapport, instant connection with people constantly. And then it's like, they there's such a positive undertone in those conversations because they're taken back by the fact that I'm even doing things at all, let alone moving across the country to another country, foreign country in the middle of a pandemic with my disabilities. Like there becomes this really nice conversation out of that. Like that would be erased. Like if I was just walking around with, you know, seemingly nothing wrong with me, you know, some really wonderful conversations I have in my life would always be erased. So like things always are just as they are. And that's okay. It's just, I'm reading in my support group, which by the way, guys, those of you that are in my support group, it's like $5 a month. It's called the Greater Place. Thank you for doing that. Like that little $5 a month, like means a lot to me. Like, it's like, you know how much I love coffee. I can buy coffee with it, or like, it gives me that like confidence and security that I know that I'm supported, or that just like you know, $5 from whoever donates in that thing per month, I can like continue making these videos and do this kinds of stuff because I have a little bit of extra support. Anyway, so thank you, thank you. And thank you to the people who have signed up for my new group, although I will do everything I can to make it to where at the end of it, you're saying, thank you, Courtney, for doing this. This is awesome. Like, it means a lot to me to get that kind of response. So, yeah, that one, it's like the Greater Inner Circle. Thank you for everyone that signed up for that. And I have to go so I can do my discovery calls for that. But anyways, in the book of the month that we're reading in my supporter group, The Greater Place, is The Alchemist. And he touches on like a concept I find very interesting and very true. It's like dreams are what make life interesting. Like dreams are what make life, you know, what make you want to live life. Like you get up in the morning and you dream of that dream vacation, you dream of that dream job, you dream of that dream body. And it's like these dreams of this beautiful future are what make us want to like see where life goes. Makes us want to research ourselves. Make us want to like go to the gym or be vulnerable or go date people because we might have this like dream romance in our head. Like, you know, people always say like make your dreams come true, and I agree with I agree with making little, you know, every day working towards your goals, because that's when we're happiest, is when we're growing and then improving. But we're not necessarily happiest whenever we reach that goal. We're not always happiest when we get to that last day of therapy, you know, that day we've been dreaming about. Like, we're happiest when we're like, have goals, have dreams, and believe in the good, believe in the better life in the future. Like, we're happiest when we give ourselves enough credit and believe and love ourselves enough that we can work towards something amazing. And I have all that still. Today on my last day of therapy. Here it is. So I really have to go. I'm late for my call, but I just wanted to like get that off my chest because I don't know, today's kind of like a big deal. I walked out and said bye to my dad, and I was like, it's my last day. It's the last one. After 3.5 years of fucking killing myself trying to do this. It's the last one. So, on to the next chapter. Adios. That means goodbye in Spanish. Okay, bye.